Hi friends, today we're going to be reading Young Cam Jansen and the Pizza Shop Mystery, Chapter 3. But first, go grab a buddy. Press play when you have your buddy. Our learning goal for today is, I can describe the setting of the story using details from the text. But what is a setting? A setting is when and where a story takes place. Look at this picture. Can you tell me the setting of this picture? Tell your partner. Did you say Disney World? If you did, awesome job. Now tell your partner why you think this is Disney World. Pause the video and talk to your partner. Press play when you're ready. Did you say this was Disney World because you saw the Flying Dumbo ride? Or because you saw Cinderella's castle in the background? Well, if you said that, you'd be using details from the picture to describe the setting. Now look at this picture. Can you tell me where these people are and tell me some details about this picture? Tell your partner. Press play when you've talked. Alright, so did you discover that this is a family eating at McDonald's? I could tell that by looking at the kids eating Happy Meals and the dad is eating fries. This all indicates that they are at McDonald's. Now, in first grade, we're not just telling what the setting is, but we are describing the setting. So, one way to describe the setting is when. When would be what time the story took place. You can describe this in many different ways. You can describe time by what time of day the story happened. Did it happen in the morning right when the sun came up? Did it happen in the middle of the afternoon when the sun was really bright in the sky and it's really hot outside? Did it happen at sunset when the sky was beautiful and you were finishing up your day? Or did it happen in the middle of the night while you were sleeping? Another way to describe the time would be what time of year the story happened. Did it happen in the springtime? You see, this is the same tree in all parts of the year, but different things are happening. So, in the springtime, this tree is blossoming with flowers. In the summer, it grows its fruit. In the fall, all the leaves fall off. And in the winter, it's covered with snow. To describe time is, when in time did it happen? If you look at this picture, it is the same archway in every picture. But if you look closely, this picture over here is from the past. I can tell that because this woman standing in the archway has a long flowy dress on, and that's what women used to wear a long time ago. If you look at the archway in the middle picture, you see a girl with a tank top on. She's in present day. The trees are on outside and there are birds. This is happening right now. And if you look at this picture, in the archway there's no people, but if you see in the distance, there is what looks like a city, a floating city. Now this is not something we have right now. This is in the future. So stories can happen in the past, a long time ago, in the present, right now, or in the future, a time that hasn't happened yet. Now another way to describe your setting is where it happened. What place did it happen at? So we're going to start really broad, really general. Did it happen on Earth? If it happened on Earth, where on Earth did it happen? For us, it would have happened in America. So where in America did it happen? I have lots of family in Tennessee, so a lot of my stories, my personal narratives, might have happened in Tennessee. You can make your setting anywhere. If it happens up in these states, it might be cold. If it happens in Florida or Texas, it might be a little bit warmer. Now, for most of us, our stories will happen in Florida because that's where we live. But where in Florida? You have to be specific. Did it happen at home? Did it happen at Red Lobster or another restaurant? What about school? Or did it happen at Disney World? You have to be specific, even within those places. Within your house, where is the story taking place? Is it happening in the bedroom? Does it move to the kitchen? You can even be more specific. If it happened in the living room, what's on the walls in the living room? What color is the sofa? Is it comfy or is it really hard to sit on? Be very specific with your details. Why is setting so important? It is so important to describe the setting with details from the story because they could give you clues to solve the mystery. Now, if you look at this layout of a house, I lost my glasses while I was reading in the library. I saw footsteps going from the library to the kitchen. I wonder if that's where I lost my glasses. Now let's get started. We're going to read Chapter 3, You Could Be Wrong. Here's the pizza and apple juice, Mr. Jansen said. Where do we sit? Cam closed her eyes and said, click. Then she said, I know where our table is. Cam opened her eyes. She led Eric and her father to a table. There was a tray with 2 slices of pizza and 2 cups of soda on the table. Someone else is sitting here, Eric said. Now, in this part of the chapter, there is a sentence that has some details about the setting. Pause the video and see if you and your partner can find what that sentence is. Press play when you're ready. Alright, let's see if you got it right. Did you say the setting was there was a tray with 2 slices of pizza and 2 cups of soda on the table? If you did, give your partner a high five because you got it right. Our secret code is 4. No one was sitting at the next table. Let's just sit here, Mr. Jansen said. Let's eat before the pizza gets cold. What sense do you think Mr. Jansen would use to know that the pizza got cold? Tell your partner. Did you say that he might use his sense of touch? If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. You're right, he'd use his sense of touch to know that the pizza is cold. They sat at the next table. Eric and Mr. Jansen started to eat. Cam didn't. She closed her eyes and said, click. I'm sure that's our table, Cam said. You know, Eric said, you could be wrong. No one was sitting at the next table would be a description of the setting. Now this page is full of setting description. Can you see if you can find it while we read? Cam said, click again. I'm not wrong, she said. Our table was in the corner. It was under the light. Cam opened her eyes. And my jacket, she said, was on that chair. She pointed. Your jacket, Mr. Jansen said. Mr. Jansen got up. I left it right there, Cam told her father. Pause the video and find with your partner where all of the descriptions of the setting is. Press play when you're ready. Alright, let's see if you found them all. The first one I found was, our table was in the corner. The next one I found was, it was under the light. This is painting a great picture of where they are, where that table was in my head. The next thing I found was, and my jacket was on the chair. This section of the story was full of setting. Mr. Jansen looked under the chair and the table. What sense did Mr. Jansen use to look under the table? Tell your partner. Did you say he used his sense of sight? You're right. Great job. Cam and Eric and Mr. Jansen walked from table to table. They looked at the back of every chair and under every table. It's lost, Mr. Jansen told Cam. Your jacket is lost. Our learning goal today was, I can describe the setting of the story using details from the text. Here's your challenge for today. Using details from the chapter 1, describe the mall. Remember, describe the setting with the time and place. I'll go ahead and read this part of the chapter. Stay with me, don't get lost, Mr. Jansen told his daughter Cam and her friend Eric Shelton. It was late afternoon on the first day of school. Cam, Eric, and Mr. Jansen were in the shopping mall. Cam and Eric needed things for school. The mall was crowded. Mr. Jansen looked into the stationery store. It was filled with people buying pens, pencils, crayons, notebooks, and other things. Let's eat first, Mr. Jansen said. Then we'll shop. But where should we eat? Go ahead and find all of the ways chapter 1 describes the setting. Good luck.